My name is Cassandra DeAnn. If this is your first time here, this is my video for the Galactic channeled energy updates for the upcoming week, which is from today until March 24th. So I'm going to be honest, this is my first live and I'm not really exactly sure what I'm doing, but you got to stretch yourself, right? So I am going to be tuning in to channel whatever wants to come through for guidance for the week coming up. So thank you for watching, and I'm going to go ahead and tune in. So it might take me a second if you're watching, maybe just breathe with me, take a few deep breaths while I connect, and we'll go from there. So I'm just tuning in and inviting any energies that wish to connect and provide guidance for the upcoming week. I'm feeling the Andromedan energy, which is actually an energy that has been quite active lately. And I'm just tuning in. In the previous weeks, the Andromedans have talked a lot about possibilities and adaptability. Just asking them to show me what it is they're sensing or feeling for the week ahead collectively. I'm hearing that there will be continued changes and adjustments, and this is nothing new. This is going to be a theme for a while as we are in this transitional time. I'm hearing that this year specifically is going to be very big on setting the foundation for where we're going and where we're moving. In the week ahead, I'm hearing much of what we have shared in previous weeks still applies. And we would add to this, of course, patience. I feel inclined to ask what the energy will feel like specifically. Heavy. I'm hearing heavy, as many adjustments are going to be made in preparation for the eclipse that will be coming up at the end of the month. We understand that this time is uncomfortable. This is why we come. This is why they keep coming to me. Because if you're unfamiliar with the Andromedans, these are a galactic race that are very adaptable. They live in a location where a star or planet where the reality is ever shifting and changing. And they are gifted at being able to move through dimensions of time and space and manifestation anything to do with creating your reality, believing in possibilities, all of these things. But what I'm hearing them say is they are gifted in times of change. So I'm going to just ask specifically. So in this upcoming week, if the energy for many will be challenging as we prepare for the eclipse and the energy that's coming up, that is, I'm hearing, going to be opening new doors for many. A lot of, with the eclipse energy, a lot of changes. So what I'm hearing is this week, as you prepare, our guidance would be to nurture, be gentle with yourself. You are, just a moment. I'm just really feeling it's essential for what I'm hearing is it's essential for us to start recognizing in these times of changing, when things are not as predictable or they don't feel as stable or they don't feel as familiar. It's important to understand how to be your own support system, how to be able to recognize when you are moving the energy. And when I say moving the energy, what this means is, what happens is everything has a frequency and a vibration. And so when we are sensing, it's like a sense, we can sense that, something's changing, something's shifting. It's like, when we just have an instinct that we're like, I just feel like this year is going to be a good year. It's that inner knowing that you may feel internally when something is changing and approaching. But what they're saying is to be sensitive, or no, they're saying not sensitive. They're giving me a new word, being gracious. Give me a different word. What's another word? They want you to essentially tune in to the awareness of knowing when your physical vessel, when your mind, your body is giving you signs that you may not be completely consciously aware, that you're recognizing that the energy is shifting, but yet things are off. It's like, there's just something not right. There's just something that feels off. There's just, an underlining agitation you may feel. Be mindful this week of any undertones, is what I'm hearing. And that this is your intuitive way of tuning in and recognizing that things are shifting. It's a way in which you can almost look at it as your body, your mind, your spirit is mentally preparing for the changes and shifts that are about to take place. So they're wanting you to be mindful of noticing these things and understand that it is essential in this time to not focus or rely so much externally on support, but knowing how to handle, to self-soothe, to nurture, to be gracious with yourself, be tender is the word I'm hearing now. Be tender with yourself and understanding, okay, I'm feeling this, noticing what you're intuitively picking up on, and then taking maybe, spending more time in nature. They like that. Yes, I'm hearing anything artistic they love too. I'm hearing anything, because using the hands and stepping out of the mind, so this week would be a great week for, if you have a project, maybe that's working around the house, maybe that is an a creative, maybe you paint or draw or write, this week would be a great time to ground yourself through these expressions that bring you more into your body and less into your mind. Thank you. Just tuning in to see anything else. Hmm. I know that they have spoken to compassion, but I'm hearing it again. It's just, I'm feeling this sense of just, I mean, it's just having compassion for yourself, having compassion for others. They're reminding me that each one of us has our own individual journey. One thing, a big thing that is shifting is that we are really being invited to step out of judgment, step out of feeling like it needs to look this way. It has to, you have to line up with that person, or you have to agree with that person. You have to match that person's energy. And they're reminding me of the video I recorded from the Acturians that speaks a lot to this. So if you are curious about that, it's a really good video that speaks a lot about how we're moving in a time in which harmony will be achieved through understanding how we differ and understanding that we are a unique piece that is meant to hold a certain tone or frequency or energy and fit in with other pieces that don't look like us. So it's like last week they talked a lot about puzzles, and I use the analogy of puzzles, and they're reminding me of this. And they're giving me this visual. If you're wanting to create, okay, if all of the puzzle pieces were the same, what are you creating? I mean, what can you do with that? You need uniqueness. You need different ingredients, just like a recipe. You want to bake a cake? You're not going to do that with just all eggs. Creation is made through unique expressions. So we have to start stepping outside of, oh gosh, I'm pausing because they're pushing me in a direction that's slightly uncomfortable for me. There's a lot of judgment. There's a lot of opinion. There's a lot of energy right now regarding diversity. There is, especially with some of the changes, and I don't love getting into politics. I'm not that person. I have very unique perspectives. But the truth is, we are presently in a time in which, our president has said, you look like this or you look like this, nothing else exists. And they're using this as saying it is so important now more than ever to understand that the tribal way of being, the way of the wars and the judgment and all the things that we've experienced because of you don't look like me, you don't talk like me, I'm threatened by you, I don't understand you, you shouldn't be in my country, you know, your gender, your expression doesn't exist. Whatever it is, they're saying all of this is what's shifting and changing. There has to be a breakthrough in which we all start to appreciate. And I'm hearing it's just as simple as look at any form of creation, the puzzle, a recipe, if you're painting, you can only do so much with one color. So, what example do we have in which we are able to create harmoniously and beautifully with all the same? This is what we're stepping out of. And we have to start. One, they're saying, going back to, again, self-soothing. It's okay if you don't understand someone else. It's okay. Like they're reminding me, they said, you sense the energy shifting. Yes, but also you may feel like, certain things feel uncomfortable, but we have to learn to start separating from the fear mindset, the judgmental mindset, and we need to start being more self-aware, because if you can feel confident and comfortable in who you are, if you can feel it's safe for you to have your own expression, which that's a whole nother conversation, if you can be who you are, instantly there is less judgment, there's less hate, there's less discrimination, because they're like, hey, there's room for you because you're different, and that's pretty neat. I might not understand it or agree with it, but I got me. You have to get you. If it's uncomfortable, you sit with that, you reflect on that, you self-soothe or but we have to start opening our minds. And that's where they're saying, again, this is where the compassion piece comes in. So everything in which they're saying is inviting, especially this week, whatever goes on politically, whatever goes on globally, whatever goes on locally, whatever, because that's the thing, is as eclipse take place, eclipse are here to put us on our destined path. Okay. And eclipses are powerful. So sometimes the eclipse energy can start to be active before we're quite there yet. So, and we're not that far. So, anything that comes up, and I'm hearing especially towards the tail end of the week, be mindful and looking at what is it, for one, you're feeling. Okay. Two, reflection. Are you actually in danger? Is this actually something to be fearful? How much is this your feelings being influenced by externally? That's what they're saying, is like, you have to know you have to be able to access and assist, walk yourself through, if you're feeling something. I'm all the time, I'm a creature, I'm noticing, I'm a creature of habit. For example, just the other day, I went to go to my local grocery store, and my partner in the car with me says, you're going to go down this row and you're going to turn down this lane and you're going to park in this spot. And it's exactly what I was doing. And in that moment, I felt like, okay, I have a choice. I can try something different. I can open my mind up to new experiences, to new expressions. And I purposely parked in an unusual, different space. It was uncomfortable. When I came out of the grocery store, there literally was this feeling of looking that direction and my car's not there. And there's this feeling internally of like, something's wrong. My car is not there, because that's just subconsciously routine and process. That doesn't mean there's anything wrong with the other rows of parking spaces. It just meant that this is familiar. This is what I know. This is what I've always done. So for this week, they're inviting you to be more self-reflective on what is uncomfortable. What's intuition? What's like sensing, oh, something's off, but I just feel like, you know, I need a day, I need to take a nap. I need, understanding that and looking at, what's uncomfortable. Where are my opinions not being open or compassionate? Think about the recipe. You need new ingredients. If you're going to paint, you need new colors. There has to be space. There has to be space. There has to be space for things that look outside of what we're so used to and so familiar with. And this is what we're all being invited to deal with. And sadly, many people are taking this and they're taking it in a direction of hate, and they're rising up in fear, and they're rising up in judgment, and they're, quite frankly, some very ugly colors are coming out from people as they're responding to their feeling sense of being uncomfortable. But you might not understand, but as long as we are falling for whatever's in the media, whatever we're reading, whatever we're watching on TV, what our neighbor says or their neighbor says or our friends say, there has to be a time in which we really can sit with ourselves and say, hey, what's really going on? So I feel like this week is an invitation for you to look at what feels uncomfortable. What What needs to shift is what I'm hearing. What needs to shift? And I'm hearing all of you, no matter big or small, all of you could benefit from forcing yourself to make one shift. Forcing yourself to open your mind to one new perspective, one new opinion, because you have to start somewhere. You can't continue going down the road that you've been going. And I'm hearing them say, you have been here for quite some time, and it's time. And I feel like, what they're saying to me now is we're entering in a season of time on this planet in which you're running out of time to choose to make shifts. Meaning, if you keep fighting against opening your mind, changing your perspective, getting uncomfortable, being real with yourself. I keep hearing over and over, they're very much getting direct in being real with yourself, like really asking yourself the hard questions. But they're saying that there's going to come a time that if we don't start getting comfortable with this energy of small shifting, as things progress, it's going to get harder. It just is. It's going to get harder to adapt. And that is why they say they are coming, is because they want to help us adapt. They want to help us be able to navigate where we're going and how we're shifting as a planet, as a collective, as a people, as a human race, they're saying. And I'm just tuning in. Can you summarize this even more simplistically? They're saying shift one thing this week and share compassion in one area of your life. And they're saying others is good, But some, even compassion to yourself is uncomfortable. Like, this is uncomfortable. It does not feel good. But being self-reflective, of asking yourself the hard questions, having compassion to, because that's the other thing. It can be hard not to be self-critical sometimes. I'm just tuning in to see if there's any other information. I love doing these channelings. Sometimes it's the energy I feel is just so thick and calming. I'm hearing, we want to connect with you. There's so many of you that we are calling. We are calling. We are calling. We want you to understand the deeper essence of who you are. We are more like you than you would imagine. If you're listening to this, chances are I'm imagining you are comfortable or at least curious about galactic races. I'm a certified galactic astrologer and would love to speak with you if you wanted to know more. I feel like so many people are being called to understand. Oh, yeah. I'm pausing. Sometimes when I'm channeling and I speak, they'll just give me more information and they'll stop me. I was going to say they want you to understand your origins, but they're kind of correcting. They're saying that's limited. That's limited. How would you describe it? How do you want me to share this information? They're saying so many of you watching this, so many people drawn to channeling, to Bashar, to Abraham Hicks, like to many channelers. So many of you in ways in your life you don't even recognize or realize. There's aspects of you that are connected to the very rich, deep, cosmic heritage that you have. But there is a lot of limitation and openness and understanding. If you only knew how vast, expansive, connected that you are. I don't understand this saying, but they keep saying everything else is like pennies. Like pennies. I just keep hearing like pennies, which is a really odd statement. Give me more information. Okay. Settling for less, lack of value, of all the possible expressions, you receive the least. You embody the least of your magnitude. Mm. There are so many that are awakening. There are so many that are being called right now to really understand your gifts and abilities. And I'm hearing there's quite a few right now that are experiencing things on this planet that feel unexplainable, or they feel like, give me the right words. I'm actually hearing right now medical diagnosis. Yeah, because the top of my crown is like buzzing right now. That there are so many that it's like your DNA is, and I've heard them use this term once before. It's bubbling, like it's bubbling. Yes, I keep hearing yes. It's bubbling under the surface. It's getting to the point where it's like ready to burst. And what's bubbling is that essence of who you are, the deeper essence of what you're here to share, what you're here to embody, express, not because you have to, but it's who you are. Yes. Well, that's beautiful. Okay. So in the week ahead, how do you want me to wrap this energy up? And they're saying it doesn't matter. It goes back to the self-reflection, the sitting with yourself, noticing your intuition, noticing what comes up. They're saying, what I'm hearing right now is, okay, they're saying what we would invite you to do this week is, instead of saying, oh, that's neat how, this person has this gift or that person has that. I mean, we've all watched the movies. We've all seen examples of people where something kicks in and they're like, they are able to achieve something they didn't expect. They're saying, if you're new to this, okay, if you're new to some of these concepts, they're inviting you to not say, if I had this. They're wanting you to look at the week ahead of, you do have it. You do have, we all have intuition. We all have gifts. My strongest gift is clairaudience, which means I have a hearing, a direct that's why they'll cut me off, or I channel through mostly clairaudience and feeling. So everybody has gifts, and they're just, all they're wanting, I just keep hearing, all we're wanting is for you to literally just understand who you are. It's yes, you can say it's magical and mystical, but they're like, everybody has this. Everybody is a part of this. But we've just been conditioned to believe it's only for a select few. We've been conditioned to judge it. We've been conditioned to fear it. So this week, they're like, be curious. Be curious about what comes up. What do you feel? Like if you go to the store and you're like, I feel like I could, should get this vegetable over that one. I don't know why, entertain the possibility of like, I wonder if I was sensing the energetic frequency of this or that, or why would, even just being curious and asking yourself questions. I wonder why this one felt right and this one didn't, because I know the answer to that. It is your intuition. It is senses. We're always connected. Your intuitive gifts are connected to your senses and inner knowings. So it's like, just be curious this week. If you think, you enter the room and you're like, I think that person needs a hug, or that person seems like they're a little sad, play with it. Play with it, because they're saying just baby steps. So take a shift, shift something this week, and push yourself to open your mind, push yourself to do something different, push yourself to get uncomfortable, be compassionate, and then entertain curiosity. What if? Because all of what they're sharing today feels like it's coming to this essence of that bubbling under the surface that they all, yes, are wanting us to embody. I'm just seeing if there's any last things. I'm just feeling into if you're listening to this, they're wanting me to share a light language activation. And they're saying that this activation, I'm feeling so much crown chakra energy coming down right now. Thank you. They're saying that this activation is designed to bring greater awareness to the inner self, not just what you perceive as your inner self, but the deeper true essence of your inner self. This activation is designed to open your third eye, to see what you do not see, to feel what you have felt, but have an awareness to its deeper connection internally to your soul, your soul's journey. So I just invite you to close your eyes. Obviously, if you're driving, don't close your eyes. Pull over or wait, listen to it later. Just invite you to take in a few deep breaths. If you're unfamiliar with light language, it is just a galactic energy frequency, sometimes angelic. All things hold frequency and energy. And hearing it, you may feel goosebumps, or it may cause emotional response or awareness, or maybe sometimes nothing. Some light language feels more energetically charged for some than others, and that's okay. That's okay. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Akara sotane ashite de akara sotanena karyamana soto toyo yakaria sata. Yeshi shotoko ina kabana sina ya sata ta ya aka. Aro soto ya shista kanamana esoto te yara karya. Aro to shone ke aya soto shita manada siti. Soya sotaya. Nyakaro sotiter shotoya nakara sataya. Lare soto nyakabara sataya shotoya karoriya nadaya. Thank you. Thank you to the Andromedans. They're inviting you to listen to that exchange as frequently as you like or you feel called. Taking time to center to the self and tune in to the intuition and what is bubbling underneath your surface this week. So, thank you to the Andromedans. Thank you for all the guidance and the light language activation that you shared. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And thank you. Thank you for watching. I hope that this video is helpful. If you're just now tuning in, you missed the beginning. My name is Cassandra DeAnn. I'm a certified galactic astrologer, Akashic records reader, and also certified in human design. If any of this energy spoke to you, or if you're curious about the Andromedans, I invite you to check out the description where you can pull your free galactic astrology chart and look to see if you have any placements to Andromeda. Because if you do, especially if you have a conjunction or opposition, this means you are a very old soul that's had a long journey and many galactic experiences. And I would love to talk to you more about this. So, thank you so much for listening. Leave me a comment. Let me know how your week went. Like or subscribe. Come back, check it out next week. And I'm going to start doing this whole live thing. Ooh, it's a little uncomfortable. Hey, look at me. I'm following the guidance, making shifts. So I'm committing to doing these live, and I hope that this was spoke to you in some way or another. And until next time, bye.